It's important to check the backup settings to ensure your backup will run exactly as you want it to. From the main application window, click on the Settings button. On the Settings window, you will see several tabs across the top. We're going to run through a quick overview of what each tab is about, but there are other videos about specific tabs and how their features work. To begin with, the General tab is displayed. This shows the account email address this computer is linked to, the computer name, and finally the computer type. The computer name is reflected in the dashboard of the account, and it is advisable to make sure this is clear if you have multiple computers or devices on your account. Under the Backup Schedule tab, you can set up how frequently you want the backup to commence, what time you want it to start, and finally if you want it to pause for a specific time. There is another video that goes into more depth called How to Schedule Backups. In Backup Selection, you can set up exactly what files or folders you want to back up. Again, there is a detailed video on this called How to Select Files for Backup. Also under this tab is a slider where you can set the maximum file size limit. So whatever size this is set to means any files set for backup that are larger than that size will not be included in backup. Now it's been set to 10 GB, so all files up to that size will be included in backup. Within file types, we are presented with a list of file extensions. It's important to look through these and make sure any file types listed that you are trying to back up are removed. I have some MP3 files in my backup, so I'm going to remove MP3. You can also add file types, so let's say I don't want to back up any of my spreadsheets. I make my spreadsheets in Microsoft Excel, so happen to know the file extension is .xlsx, so I'm going to add that to this list. Now, any files with this extension that are in folders I've selected for backup will be ignored and not backed up. The authentication settings are all about linking your account to the computer that you are on. It's rare you will need to change this unless you have changed your account email address or password from the account dashboard. The security settings are to do with the way the application and backup communicates with our servers. There are two options: HTTPS, which is what we recommend as it's more secure, or HTTP, which is faster but not as secure. If you have no preference or are not sure, stick with HTTPS. Under Power and CPU, you can control how the backup runs if there are any changes to the running of your computer. For example, laptop users may want to tick the power saving box so that backups are paused when running on the battery to conserve power. Another handy feature here is to set it so backups only run when the screensaver is active, effectively meaning your backup only runs when you are not using your machine. That concludes our overview of backup settings. Be sure to click on OK if you have made any changes.